Sioux City sweeps the doubleheader in Chicago. Two more teams clinch their spot in the playoffs, and the Saltdogs win a thriller in Kane County. Welcome to the American Association Whiparound on this Saturday. The final weekend of the regular season is underway. What a Friday night it was. Two more teams have secured their spots. We've got plenty of highlights to get to. Let's start it in Chicago. The Explorers and Dogs matching up for two after a game in Sioux City was postponed earlier this season. Top of the first, right away, Matt Lloyd blasts a two-run shot out to right, giving the Explorers the early edge. Later on in the fifth, down 2-1 is Chicago, and Scott Oda increases that lead for the Explorers. An RBI double down the right field line. The Explorers take game one, 4-1. And top of the third of game two, we're tied at 1. Tyler Rando, a two-run shot out to left, giving the Explorers a 3-1 edge. They go on to win 3-2 and sweep the doubleheader. To Kansas City, the Dockhounds taking their first and only trip to Legends Field. Bottom of the fourth, 4-1 Monarchs. Odubel Herrera, a two-run blast out to right. Later on in the same inning, Brian O'Grady does the exact same thing. A two-run shot out to right, a 7-run fourth inning. Kansas City wins it 12-4. To Cleburne, the Canaries making the trip down south to Texas. Bottom of the sixth, bases loaded, and Trevor Achenbach goes ahead and clears them. A bases clearing double all the way to the corner in left, and then go to the eighth. Up 3-2 with Sioux Falls. Hunter Clandon tacks another one on with this RBI double. The Canaries stay hot after clinching that playoff spot. They win 5-2. To Milwaukee, believe it or not, the Railcats' first trip to Franklin Field this year. The Eastern Division rivals. Bottom of the third, tied at 1. Gabriel Consell, a 3-run blast out to left, giving Milwaukee a 3-run edge. We go to the ninth. The Railcats would score 2 in the ninth off Nate Hadley, but he strikes out Thomas Greeley here. Milkmen take the opener 5-3. To Fargo, the Goldeyes make the trip to Newman Outdoor Field. Bottom of the first, Dylan Thomas, who had himself a great night. Amongst the batting average leaders in the league, a solo shot here in the first. He had 3 hits and 3 RBIs on the night. Go to the eighth, tied at 2. Scott Schreiber unties it. A blast out to left, giving the Redhawks the 3-2 lead. They would tack one more onto that as well. Go to the ninth, up 4-2. Reza Aliazi strikes out Miles Symington for the final out, and the Redhawks clinch their spot in the playoffs. The reigning champs are back in. Finally, to Kane County, a great one here between the Saltdogs and Cougars. And speaking of a great one, CJ Eldred, talk about the second half he's had. 8 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, just another in a long string of great starts for him. But this would be his one blemish right here. Connor Panis gets him for a homer out to right, his 21st of the season. It ties the game at 1. And later on in this inning, another highlight from Lincoln. How about this play from Drew Devine out at short, leaping high in the air and saving what would have been a run-scoring single there. So we go to extras, and in the 11th, Zane Zerbrug puts Lincoln up 4-2 with this RBI single. They go on to win 4-3. Here's your final scores from a loaded Friday night. The Explorers sweep the doubleheader in Chicago. That's going to be a 5-game series at Impact Field. The rest of the sets are 4-gamers. Standings update in the East. Milwaukee a full 2 games up over Chicago with their win, and Chicago's sweep in the hands of Sioux City yesterday. And the Kane County Cougars, despite the tough loss, have clinched a playoff spot due to losses from Lake Country and Cleburne as well. They are in the East playoffs. And in the West, we have our playoff bracket with the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks clinching that final spot. Lincoln has been eliminated, and Kansas City will have their pick amongst Sioux City, Sioux Falls, and Fargo-Moorhead. The Monarchs are going to be announcing that later on today. Tonight, we've got a full slate of action for you on this Saturday night. We're keeping an eye on Lake Country and Cleburne, that fight for the final playoff spot in the East, as well as Milwaukee and Chicago in their battle for the 1 seed. You can catch all the big games tonight at aabaseball.tv or get your tickets through the AA Baseball app. I'm Matt Yeazel for the American Association, where we play to win.